guys, so today we're going to be reviewing Frosty's Winter Wonderland. So, years have passed since Frosty left for the North Pole, but he keeps his promise to the children that he would be back again someday. Well, that's to the original special, you guys. That's called Frosty the Snowman. When he hears about the news about the first snowfall of the season, he comes back to the children. The children are excited to hear about Frosty's return and are overjoyed when he comes back to play with them. But then Jack Frost, voiced by Paul Frees, sees the fun that the children are having with Frosty and becomes jealous of him, and when he learns the original lesson of his mad Frosty and his magic silk hat, which brought the snowman to life when they placed it on his head. Jack Frost decides to steal it from Frosty so the children would love them more. But that night, while Frosty and the children were ice skating at the frozen pond, Jack Frost unknowingly and mistakenly captures the male horse's old hat, which is able to blow snowy winds, leaving it to Frosty's hat. It disappears with it. Despite the fun he has, Frosty becomes sad and lonely at the end of each day when the children go home for the night, making him cry for the first time. To cheer him up, the kids, with his help, build him a snow wife the next day. Suggested names including Cleopatra, Cornflakes, Ementru, and Minnie-Ha-Ha, and named her Crystal, but she is not alive like how he is. So the children try placing a feminine horse's bonnet on her head, but not available. Meanwhile, Jack Frost soon looks upon the stolen hat from the male's horse and discovers was a trick. Realizing how that Frosty was caused his failure, he swirls revenge on him. Late that night, Frosty presents Crystal with a bouquet of frost flowers. His gift of love brings her to life, and she immediately said his trademark line, "Happy birthday." The two jollily frolic around through the snow until Jack seizes a gust of icy wind, which blows Frosty's hat off, turning him back to his lifeless state and taunting Crystal that he is gone for good. To prove Jack wrong, she sculpts a curt out of snow and placed it on Frosty's cheek and gave him a kiss, which immediately brings him back to life. Buffettly back remade, and Jack Frost throws Frosty's hat back on his head. Frosty and Crystal run through town, announcing their wedding to the children. The children gather around with Parson Brown to the local preacher in town to marry them. Parson Brown says that the marriage will not be legal, as he can only marry real people. Everyone until Parson Brown until Parson Brown suggests they build a snow person with his assistant. After the person is built, Parson Brown states that a person is not a person until he holds the good book in his hand. He places the ball into the snow person's hand, and like Frosty and Crystal, he magically brought to life. Jack Frost witnesses this and decides to spoil the wedding with a blizzard. Frosty and Crystal decide to reason with him and ask him to be the best man at the wedding. After all, Crystal says the whole wedding should be wintry, and so it would only be appropriate for him to be the best man. Finally feeling appreciated, Jack agrees. The wedding goes on with a hitch to the song Winter Wonderland. Frosty, Crystal, and Jack have fun with the children all winter, but notice the weather's starting to grow warm again. Jack decides to make it so that winter will last forever. Frosty and Crystal can stay as their overly long winter continues, but Parson Brown decides to talk with everyone and tells them that winter never lasts forever. If winter lasts forever, the trees would never sprout, the leaves and flowers would never grow. Frosty and Crystal and Jack once again had for the train to the North Pole, but not before one more stake, though. Town. Frosty and Crystal says their goodbye to the same traffic cop Frosty incurred in the first special, who is no longer surprised by sense, who wishes them only to swallow his whistle in his shock again when he hears he has married. All trees of winter melt always. All trucks of winter melt always, but everyone remember that the Winter Wonderland was a good memory, and good memories can never die. So the narrator said, because everyone know that not so one far away day that first snowflake will fall. Then the scene shows Jack Frost up in a tree, and in a few months the whole town has become winter again. The specials end with the narrator saying to the viewers, "May all your winters be wonderful." And Frosty and Crystal responded, and Frosty and Crystal responded, and Frosty too. And there you go. That's the review of Frosty's Winter Wonderland. Thanks for watching. Bye.